Visit our new home on ultmeridian.com.
And good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning. Yes, it is. It's Monday, June 26th, as we commence this last week of June. Roger B. here at Mornings in Meridian, the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. So glad to have you aboard today. As we start this week. Who are we? I'm Roger B. Say hi to Mr. Yes, he's in a chair that he occupies often, but I kind of want to say he's in Charles' chair. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
I know, we got all this just completely backwards. Backwards! But it's because of the video feed we're having to run on this sort of thing. Yeah,
that's right. So, we're on video.
Hello!
Good deal. Good to see you all.
Oh,
all right.
That was weird.
Yes.
You missed a makeup spot.
Just licked themselves.
Yeah.
And, of course, back from vacation,
that, you know?
Say hi to Mr. Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
Come in, found your world was rocked upside down there.
My chair is gone.
It's
occupied.
Occupied
Democrats.
Oh, whoa!
Whoa! Hey.
Whoa!
All right.
Occupido.
Occupied. What is he? Okay. Is that Italian for?
I think that's the other name for occupied when I'm looking at the restroom on the airline. It's just occupied or occupido, I think.
Okay. No.
I think.
I'll go with that. Yeah,
the
sure.
bilingual here.
Okay.
So, welcome back from vacation,
Thank
Charles.
You. Yeah. Well, it wasn't really a vacation now. It was a, I wouldn't call it a business trip either, but an obligation for the Restaurant Association.
Well, tell us about your obligation.
Well, we
need
Public
a
Affairs
Report.
Conference.
Yes. Don't we want to know this?
Yep. Went to D.C. and met with both senators, Wicker and Cindy Hyde-Smith, and kind of talked about different issues that relate to the restaurant industry, and sort of an agenda that we have as far as legislation that's pending. And met with Mike Ezel and then Benny Thompson, and then the legislative assistants with Michael Guest and with Trent Kelly. So didn't meet those two. They were in session and had other obligations.
That's
so
all right. We had Michael Guest on the radio while we were gone.
He was our guest. See that? Yeah, I was his guest. But okay, it's getting weird.
Yes. No, that's interesting. So you're up there basically kind of championing the cause of restaurateurs in Washington, D.C.
That's right, and kind of listening. You know, we had obviously a conference too where we heard some speakers, issues that are facing the restaurant industry, whether that's labor or minimum wage or just a variety of other legislation that's pending.
Right.
The big three that we were looking at was minimum wage, the tip credit. Minimum wage is not such an issue anymore. I don't think anybody's paying $7.25 an hour anymore. It's our current wages, even locally, are much higher than that. And so that issue has kind of been put on the back burner. But the issue for restaurants in particular is the tip credit, which we talked about before, that we pay servers a couple of dollars an hour, really, but their tips that they earn make up for the difference so that they make way more than minimum wage. If we eliminate that, it changes the structure of the business. I mean, we can get into the weeds, but I don't think we want to.
Well, we do. Excuse me, but now I'm sitting here thinking, but if a tip is a server's salary, it no longer is a tip.
Well, that's not true, but it's counted as, it's not a salary, it's counted as a wage.
That's kind of like the boss saying, hey, your Christmas bonus is here, but you're also being reduced for the amount of your Christmas bonus.
The Jelly of the Month Club. And
they have to,
it's the gift that keeps giving.
And they have to report those tips as taxable income.
Well, they
too,
do,
right?
but especially with fine dining,
right.
About 90% of our transactions are credit card anyway, so those are automatically reported.
Sure.
That goes through payroll, and then we actually report them for them. So, but servers generally average 20 on the low end per hour to 40, 50, dollars per hour. So it really is much more advantageous for them to keep the tip structure in place. There are those such as Bernie, shall we say, who want to make changes because they think they know what's better for the tipped employee. So, which I think they're not coming from a bad place. They're just looking at it from the perspective of, it's outrageous that restaurants are paying you $2.13 an hour. So you deserve more than that, from the employer, when in reality they're making much more than that anyway. And fair enough, tipping is sort of this archaic system that we have.
Right.
However, it's the system that's in place. So if we want to change that, then we alter the entire structure of the restaurant business, and then we charge more for entrees and pay them, $10 an hour, whatever that would be.
What is it the restaurateurs need from the folks in Washington?
We want to maintain the tip credit, and that's the thing. There's talk of doing away with that. They did that in actually D.C., the metro area, and they did that, I think, in the last couple of years, and it's made some changes as far as the cost of food there, and also I think they're adding service charges and things like that. And then distributing that amongst the staff.
So what happens when you're in D.C. and you want to, and you're so used to tipping? What happens to that when it goes into the restaurant system? I mean, you leave $5 on the table or $10, whatever.
Well, I think that I don't know how it's distributed. I guess that would depend on each individual restaurant. There's no standard way of doing it.
Okay.
But I think that there are probably a lot of tipped employees out there who are still getting the traditional tips because there's so many visitors from out of town in D.C. that they're not aware of what each individual server or bartender is making per hour, that they're tipping their normal 20-25%, and then the bartenders and servers are just walking tall. Oh, yeah. Making a lot of money.
Well, isn't that magical?
It is.
Andy, you left a quarter. I left a quarter, too.
That's right.
Wow.
That's 50 cents.
Well, here's, I think about, obviously, you could not be in business if you had to pay the full salary of the...
Well, we could, but it would alter, as I said,
But you would have to collect the tippage.
Everything.
I mean, that kind of thing.
No, we wouldn't. We would charge, as we're charging, a hamburger's $12 an hour. We charge $17 or $18 and pay the servers. Every server out there would be making $7.25 an hour. And then we would discourage tipping. I don't think we can outlaw. We can't say you cannot leave a tip, but we would say, look, our prices include service.
I know the European model is not much tipping over there for some reason.
It's not much, no.
It's it's kind of like a lot different than ours, where I guess they get paid more from the restaurant.
They do, but they still get tips, but just not as much.
Just not as much. Mm-hmm. Now, the most awkward tipping form I think we have here in the United States is the device that has carried by the server, and the
little SkyTab system.
They work out your bill, and then they let you they turn the device toward you so that you can accept the bill, and then you determine what percentage of tip you're going to give.
Well, it's sort of like taxi drivers.
While the server is holding it in front of you, it's like,
how much am I worth?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Here, pick a tip.
Right.
Because you always have, the 3 columns? It's like, 5, 10, 15%, and then a custom tip, I think, are on those. Something like that?
No, I don't think it would go down to 5%.
Oh, really?
It would probably be started
10, 15, 20?
12, 15, 18, or something along those lines. I mean,
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
Sold! Man in the orange shirt.
But I like the fact, it's kind of just interesting. You've got to, at least I do appreciate the fact that you do have multiple choices. That almost reminds me of taking my test in school. But they
Can they do D, none of the above?
They set it up
All
and
the
hold it
above.
in front of you, and you're
Roger
sitting there
looks like an all of the above guy.
Really?
well, when all else fails,
Just saying.
there's a common rule I heard in multiple choice questions. If you don't know the answer,
All the above.
pick C. It's always C.
Always C,
Always
okay.
C. I don't know. that's your go-to.
And that was your GPA in high school as well. Coincidentally, how did that happen?
Got the same diploma as the A's got.
That's right.
Tell you what.
Walked on the same stage.
Same
Yep.
stage, got
All
the little
had fun.
tassel, so I didn't have the pretty little ropes around my gown. Who cares? He's just not a very good person for education, is he?
It's education.
Education, not an advocate.
Well, welcome back. Anyway,
Well, thank
so
you.
okay,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you took an opportunity to at least do something fun.
I did. Well, fun.
Did you tour anything
I
in
did.
Washington?
I went to the Holocaust Museum, which I don't know
wow.
if that was fun, but very poignant, and I'm glad I did it. It was really an incredible thing to do. But I didn't spend as much time as I'd have liked there.
You believe that really happened, the Holocaust?
I'm not a denier. No, I think it did happen. There's
boy.
a lot of strange footage there.
I agree too.
Hey,
by the
okay.
way,
Okay, good.
I've
Just
been
for the
to
record.
I've been to Dachau. I mean, I've seen
I
some
never
of
did
these
that,
places.
but when I was in Israel, I did see a lot of people with the tattoos on their wrists and things like that. So there were certainly a lot of survivors there. But yeah, so I went to the Holocaust Museum. Went
Well,
to
that's
the-
great, though.
Went
That's
to the
good.
International Spy Museum.
Oh.
Saw James Bond's Aston Martin.
Oh, cool.
Tried
Now,
to get
see,
in, and they kicked me out.
Bond.
Yes. No, 007.
You saw the Aston Martin.
But kind of a cool museum there, and went to a ball game too. So that was
No, you went to a ball game. Who'd you go see?
Cards and the Nationals.
Oh, cool.
And they're both pretty bad. This
Yeah,
year,
they're
so-
not very. Yeah, they're not very good.
Wasn't a very competitive game, and the Nationals lost like 9-4. So, but it was good to get out to Major League Baseball.
Hopefully, our
field
local
and-
guy got to play in that game for the Nationals. Corey Dickerson, he plays for Washington. So yeah,
I think so, yeah.
yeah. So he's playing for the Nats now.
All right. Well, didn't know that. Didn't
Yeah.
know we had a local there.
Yeah, played out at MCC. So
Okay.
Well, the whole team is back together, and we're just glad that you're back. And of course, Rob, we're just a reminder that we are now streaming, and also, once you get out of the car, you can still listen to Mornings in Meridian.
That's right, WALTmeridian.com on your desktop, or you can type it in right there on your device. And, of course, we're streaming on Facebook Live right now. Go like our Facebook page, WALT Talk Radio. And, Roger, when you go to that homepage, we've also got a YouTube link as well. So we are all over the place. Welcome to our new world, Charles.
Streaming and streaming. That's what we're doing.
A couple
Wow.
things changed while you was away.
Got some changes up in here.
Had a couple changes while you was away.
Okay.
And also this morning,
that.
we have a big announcement. We're going to be doing a big giveaway, our first giveaway on our new website, WALTmeridian.com. So if you're into grilling, you might want to be listening.
Giveaway.
We're
giving
something
What was that? Oh!
Yeah, that was that meeting
I
a
don't
month
know.
ago
Okay.
that you were supposed to be at. You missed it,
Oh,
so.
the meeting that I was supposed to be at?
No, him.
Oh,
him,
okay. Yeah, I didn't. I never get the memos, so it's good. I'm busy that day.
I missed the
Yeah.
memos and the meetings.
So, well done.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
strive to do the same.
No, that's great though. So we're going to be giving away. How does that?
I'll tell you what, let's go and talk about it.
Let's
since-
go ahead and talk about it. How does that work? You're going to win free stuff.
We're going to be posting some information very soon over at WALTmeridian.com. It is our Stars, Stripes, and Sizzle sweepstakes. If you head over to our website, you can register to win a Blackstone griddle over at WALTmeridian.com, and that is going to start today, and we'll do our final drawing on July the 17th. So if you're a big griller, then head over to WALTmeridian.com and register for that Blackstone griddle to be given away on July 17th. We'll do the drawing that morning here on Mornings in Meridian. So it's the Stars, Stripes, and Sizzle sweepstakes at WALTmeridian.com.
So you register online, but we announce and draw here on the air live.
Correct.
You don't win it live on the air. You have to win it through the website, right?
Correct.
I got you. Okay.
There you go. So register online, and we'll announce the winner right here on the air. So.
Oh, that's exciting.
So,
All
yeah,
right.
a Blackstone griddle will be given away on July the 17th. Our Stars, Stripes, and Sizzle sweepstakes at WALTmeridian.com. It's our first big giveaway through our website. So there you go.
All right.
Mornings in
Now, are we eligible to win?
I was going to tell you about that, but yeah, I'll tell you later.
Must be 18 or older. Cannot be members of the Meridian Media
I think
Group.
I'll take a couple weeks off.
Is that
and maybe
really
I'll
fine
see you on the 18th.
print at the very bottom?
right.
Yeah, we're included in that.
We've got a phone caller here on the line. Our number, by the way, is 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Well, I see y'all got something new.
Hey, yes, sir. How you
know
doing?
what that's going to do? That's going to make old folks like me that don't give a dip about going nowhere, give them something else to do, sitting in the recliner.
There you go.
If you want to win a griddle, that'd be a good place to go win one.
It would, but I don't need a griddle. Got a brand new one sitting on my porch, never even been used.
Oh goodness!
I was thinking about you, sir, on Friday evening. Where were you Friday evening?
In my chair.
In your chair.
Yeah.
Well, Lee Greenwood was in town, and he gave a good old rendition of Rocky Top.
Well, Lee, he's good. He's really good. And tell you a story. When he had that God Bless the USA,
Yeah.
my grandson was in, I think, the 4th grade or something. They had a program at the school, and he sang that loud, and I mean right on it.
Oh,
and
that's
folks
great.
went nuts when he done that.
Oh, your grandson sang that.
Yeah.
Oh, that had to be a good moment.
It was. Anyway, and I'm not in my chair now. Thank goodness this has happened to me. I didn't want to ever go back to Nashville.
Yeah.
But I got a call, and my boss's Sonny's wife, Sonny Osborne,
Yes.
his wife called me, and we talk all the time. But anyway, she called and says, I know you like plunder, and I do.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, I got a pile of it up here, and I want you to find out. And she said, it's going to make you squall.
Oh.
And what I'm going after is going to make me squall. It's all kind of books and tapes and pictures of stuff that him and I done
Yeah.
for 50 some years, and his swing bicycle.
Oh, Schwinn
Wow.
bicycle. Now, just so that everybody knows, of course, we're talking with Ray Huffmaster, and of course, you were part of the group with the Osborne brothers, and
Right.
you're talking about Sonny Osborne and his wife. And so you're gonna get some of his things.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to death to be able.
In fact, folks need to realize that we're talking on the phone right now with the original American Picker. I mean, we could have done a whole series with Mr. Huffmaster here.
Yeah. Stuff, and I know them. Well, I told you this before. Them boys that was in the band with me
Yeah.
wrote and recorded that song for their show,
Mm-hmm.
and they put them up to me about right down here.
Okay. Yeah.
And they didn't. I didn't make them mad. I don't think. I just asked them, did they get paid for doing that show? Oh, we get paid. And I said, am I going to get paid? Oh, no. We might buy something, but you don't get paid. I said, well, come back and see me.
Come back and see me. We ain't doing any business today.
I ain't going to allow them to be me on the damn television show and them making no telling what.
Yeah.
And
you don't get a dime.
they didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's amazing.
The Pickers showed up at Lauderdale at Loafer's Corner, and they got turned down.
Well, they welcome to come down here, but they're, if they want to come in and fool with my stuff, they're going to have to pay me.
They didn't realize that you was familiar with the show business industry.
Oh, and I'm a lifetime member of the union. It tells them what to do or don't do. you
Yeah.
know. And that has been so good to me, that union.
Oh, really?
Oh man, it's amazing. And I got paid every time I worked a show, a TV show, or the Opry, or Nashville Now, anything like that. I got paid scale.
Well, I'm just checking with our legal department, and they said that you called this station voluntarily, so we do not pay you.
That's right.
We don't pay you for this phone call.
No, but anybody that's listening that shows up at Loafers there, it's my pay right there, whether they buy anything or not.
Oh, right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just send them out to Loafer's Corner there at Lauderdale, right at the corner of this way and that way.
There you go. That'll do it.
There you go, brother.
Yeah. Well,
Let us
y'all be
know.
good.
Let us know when you get back from Nashville what all you picked up.
Oh man, I'm really excited and sad too in a way.
Yeah.
And I know what she's talking about. She knows that I'll squall at good music or I'll squall at a sweet movie.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind that at all. I don't mind squalling.
What about some of the personal items? You know, like either hats or belts or buckles or whatever.
Well, she said it was a lot of pictures and books that he had, and signatures and stuff that he had collected over all those years.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't matter. She said, you better come in your truck. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, there you go. Well, you go up there to Nashville and go visit Sonny's wife. What's her first name?
Judy.
Judy. Go visit Judy and pick up some things and bring them back here, and we'll be glad to hear about the report.
All right, we'll put it on the internet.
Well, that's something I can do while I'm in my chair at home then.
There you go.
Okay. Exactly. All righty.
Y'all behave.
All right. Appreciate the call there, Mr. Raymond Huffmaster.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Always so good to hear from him.
Absolutely.
Of course, if you remember the song Rocky Top, that was a big hit of the Osborne Brothers. So that was their song. So I know you may not be a Volunteers fan, but still, you know, it's a great song. And Lee Greenwood had a good concert Saturday night.
I was going to ask
night.
you. I mean,
It was good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
I was there.
Couple. That's right. You said you were going to be there. I didn't see you, but then I didn't look for you.
I saw you.
Wow.
And then I kind of ducked down a little bit.
That's
So,
why I
you
didn't
know.
see it.
there he is.
Gotcha.
it's kind of like the
Okay.
IRS.
Don't
He
say
just kind of went, "What?"
Oh my
But
goodness.
no, it was a great show, and I'm not a big fan of you know, I mean, country music's not really my genre, but wow, what an entertainer!
Well,
Really good.
I'm just glad that you're not completely outside the country music appreciation group. You do have some appreciation for it, which is very because I've noticed in our association here working that we can play a lot of country songs and you never heard that before.
Yeah, it's right in my head. But, but I go through stages. I was on a Townes Van Zandt stage for like 2 months, just listening to nothing but him, but kind of doing a little Tom Petty now, which isn't really country, but Americana anyway. So,
Oh, yeah.
Just different things.
Come on back a little closer there.
It goes in waves.
Waves.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
He's
just
on the
riding that wave right now.
he's on a wave. All right, this show is brought to you by some good folks. Things change. We go from week to week, and of course, let's not forget that Barber and Son Plumbing has been around doing it right for years and years and years. A lot of people have. Folks, you've got homes out there in the county. You've got bathrooms in your house because Barber put them there. I mean, that's just
indoor plumbing is what we call that.
That's how long they've been around.
It's been an amazing invention, and of course, Barber and Sons Plumbing have been doing it for over 80 years, and that's a long time. You can go see them, 1123 26th Avenue, 601-482-7023. They'll come out to your home and do the repair, or if you're kind of one of those do-it-yourselfers, just take a picture of the part that's broken and show it to Gary, and he will set you on your way. Show you how to fix it, tell you how, give you detailed instructions. It's as good as done right there. Or if you want them to come out, they can fix it as well. 601-482-7023. Every type of plumbing part available, and they have an encyclopedic knowledge of plumbing. It's pretty much like they invented it. Barbara and Sons Plumbing, 1123 26th Avenue. Go see them. You won't regret it.
All right, mornings in Meridian. We got a caller on the line. Welcome to our show. How are you?
So, guys, I may have missed it, but as we talked about the latest episode of As the Queen City Turns with the
The soap opera.
with the with the city getting the letter from the grand jury.
Oh,
we're going to read the entire thing later on. I got it right here.
Rob's got that grand jury report. Yes, indeed.
Did we also, when we speak of that, maybe a little investigative journalism if we ain't done that yet? And I'm not saying y'all don't do a good job, but I just found out when that was read to the police chief, she resigned and left. Has that been reported on?
I've not heard anything along those lines.
That has not been reported to me. No, sir.
Been kind of everybody's been kind of quiet on that. So just thought I'd bring that up.
And I'd heard that, but I'm not sure what my source was now. And I just kind of dismissed that. I think someone was talking about it at the bar. So you've got to consider the source and question.
Well, here's what I heard at the
That's
bar.
what I heard. Well, not hanging out at the bar. I'm just kind of wandering around talking.
Kind of
to people
working there.
sometimes.
I know.
Yeah, working. That's what it is. Yes, exactly. But.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate that. That'll be, maybe that's just someone's wishful thinking. I don't know. But anyway, we got to take a break, and we appreciate the phone call. Thank you. All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. Charles is back in the house, and we've got a great program. And yes, we do have the fresh copy of the grand jury report.
Yes,
Rob,
sir.
Let's talk about that when we come back.
Yep.
Roger here, along with Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, sir.
Good to see ya. Charles Frazier back with us.
Hello.
Good to see you here. In just a moment, we're going to be visiting with Craig Wilkes from the city of Meridian on this Municipal Monday. We'll be visiting with him about...
wow, is that what it's called now?
I know.
Really?
Today, yeah.
Today it is.
Today it's Municipal Monday.
Wait a minute, this story about the city, this story about the city, this about the city.
I didn't get the memo. Did you get the memo?
I didn't either, and this is new.
Well, Craig has just held up a sign that says, "Please don't talk about the city." Anyway.
Anything but that. Yes.
But we're so glad you're. I'll tell you what we will talk about. We will talk about the Queen City truck stop because they have right there at the Queen City truck stop, exit 150, they have the Magnolia Restaurant, which is a great place for you to stop in for breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snacks, whatever time of day you feel like you need some food. They're going to have it because their hours are
What are their hours?
Always.
Can't find them on there.
always.
Always are their hours. That's right. They never close. They are open 24/7, 365 or 6. Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City truck stop, exit 150. Of course, today they got hot roast.
Hey.
Man. Fried chicken, of course, beef tips over rice. I know that's your personal favorite, Roger.
Oh, I like
and they
roast,
always got the veggie
pot
plates.
roast too. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
You just like it all, don't you?
I
We
do.
We can tell. Actually.
Food.
There you go.
Food. And
like
of course,
food.
if you're a long haul truck driver, they got the long haul breakfast. Man, that'll keep you going all day long, even if you're not a long haul truck driver.
There you go.
Go get you some of that. The service is friendly. The air conditioner works great, and that's important. The coffee's hot, and you meet some good folks over there.
It's going to be important this week.
Yeah, I know it. The Queen City Truck Stop, Magnolia Restaurant, exit 150. Go see him. Of course, you can get something to go as well. Just give him a call, 601-482-0259.
All right, we're going to get to our guest in just a second, but we got a caller on the line. Let's take a quick call here at 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Never morning, true American patriot.
It is right here, folks. The Right Reverend Hazmat coming here to us live here on this show this morning.
Well, I don't know so much about that, but that Instant Friday at First Baptist Church, does that tell everybody the state of Meridian? That was horrible.
That was horrible.
horrible.
Yep. Can't go to.
And could have got much, much worse.
Yep. Well, I know you don't want to hear about this, but I just want to say that I had a very good review of your message that you delivered at the United Methodist Church in Sokolina this past Sunday.
Really? Well, They didn't burn me at the stake, and I didn't see a nuclear mushroom cry when I walked out the door.
Yeah.
I thought I felt a rumble
that
about
that
noon.
must have been a good
force.
sign.
That was a good sign. That's
Yeah,
right.
I looked at my wife. I said, "It's about noon. I haven't heard a rumble of thunder yet, so Haz must have survived."
I know somebody who was in attendance, and they gave you a. I don't know if you do this with speakers and preachers, but they gave you a thumbs up.
Church, do you do that?
I guess you.
Well,
can
that was good. That was good.
But
I
anyhow,
called down the fire, and God sent the thunder and lightning for free.
yeah. Of course, I know you started out talking about the carjacker that was shot at the in the parking lot of First Baptist Church.
That didn't have nothing involved in it.
Do what now?
It was about the enemy from within.
No, I understand, but I mean, you called talking about the.
Today, yeah. That just shows the state of disrepair that this city's in, and people are scared to shop. They've got these transient people everywhere, homeless, whatever they want to be called.
Well, I guess
you don't know that these people aren't violent, man. They got nothing to lose.
Well, when you're going to try to take on an investigator who is with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, and you're going to just continue to be belligerent and threaten him and his family, then there's a real problem there. Mm-hmm. And what can you expect?
What would have happened though had that guy not been armed? Had he not been a sheriff deputy, just been Joe Average going in there to see his kid vacation Bible school. But this guy that took him down, he could have stabbed him or beat him to death or whatever. I mean, we've got to do something about law enforcement in Meridian.
And this goes back to, because regardless of the fact that he was off duty at the time, and so I think think that'll be taken in consideration in the way this is all handled by the investigators. But the point is, it's kind of goes along with what we've said all along here on the show, and that is for every good citizen in Meridian who can be proficient by protecting themselves and their family with a firearm, please get one and carry it, and make sure that you're proficient with it, and be
That's right.
understand that there may be consequences on the other side, and some of it could be emotional. But the thing about it is, you can
get over emotional consequences quicker than you can dig out of that cemetery.
There you go, good stuff.
And tie a string on the front door knob of First Baptist and pull it tight to the center of City Hall. Probably a block, maybe a block and a half. This is before noon on Friday morning. This is what we've come to call normal in Meridian.
Well, I hope a message was sent to any would-be carjacker there that, we as citizens in this city are not going to take it anymore.
Well, if MPD and others are not going to put a cap on the crime and keep us safe, we'll keep our own self safe.
Well, sir, I appreciate you.
All right.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you checking in, and thanks again for your message on Sunday. All right, mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there, and of course, we want to. Well, I guess we need to switch gears. We got a lot to get to, but we're so glad that Craig Wilkes is here with us, because we do have some good things that happen in Meridian. One of them happens to be Earth's Bounty. So we're so glad you're here, Mr. Wilkes.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Well, of course, I know that you are the administrative assistant at community development of the city of Meridian. So I like the fact that, you let us talk about city of, you kind of listening to us talk about city things, and you're keeping some great composure here. I mean, you just kind of,
I'm here to talk about the good stuff.
There we go.
That's right.
Because there is a lot of good stuff going on.
And we'll get back to the bad stuff later. But no, the good stuff happens to be Earth's Bounty. So tell us about your involvement with it, and then what do you want our listeners to hear about it?
Well, Earth's Bounty is a city-sponsored event. This is our 12th season doing Earth's Bounty. For you guys who don't understand what Earth's Bounty is, it's basically our farmers market. But it encompasses live entertainment, kids' activities. It's very family-friendly. It's at Singing Brakeman Park, which is next to the train station, 1801 Front Street. It's the first Saturday of every month, April through November, from 8 to noon. So it's a great event. It won Reader's Choice Best Event last year for 2022 through Meridian Star. So we get about 500 to 700 people come through. It's a big event.
And it's always right there at Singing Brakeman Park. Well, most of the time it's there, and it's the first Saturday of every month. And so here we are, and it's every month that there is a kind of a farming season, I guess.
April through November.
Yeah.
So in Mississippi, we're really lucky we can grow food year round.
Yeah.
So usually we have produce of some sort, at the market. This coming Saturday is peak season, so people have been clamoring for tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, corn. Now is the time. Saturday is the day to come.
Come down there and and fill your vehicle up with good things from Earth's Bounty.
Love it.
So, according to the, in addition to the normal produce and things like that you find at a farmer's market, what are some of the other types of vendors that will be there?
Well, Earth's Bounty is all agricultural, so you have to produce it, after an agricultural product. So if it's a candle, it's soy-based. We have a lot of baked good vendors. We have some people who do hair products that are soy-based.
Wow.
It's a wide variety. We have honey, eggs.
There you go.
I mean, anything that you would need, to make a great meal, we have at the farmers market. We have goat milk products. We have quail.
Wow.
We have organic produce and regular produce. So it's a wide variety of foods. And Charles is a foodie, I know, and he can tell you, he can come down there and whip up something pretty cool pretty quick. Right?
Oh, the
Charles.
challenge is on.
You have been issued the challenge.
Right.
That's the problem. See, you're a foodie. You're a foodie. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But no, and I've been down there, and really they got a lot of great products, and the produce is fantastic. I mean, it really looks good, and that's much better than you can get in just going to your grocery store, whatever that may be. whichever one you go to. But I mean, the produce is just wonderful, and the other products as well. I've eaten some of the goat cheese and various other animal products that are there as well.
All this stuff is local, guys. It's not trucked in from Mexico.
Okay.
They're either growing it or making it themselves. These are people who are passionate about what they do. The city does collect a sales tax that we turn in that goes back into the city coffers. So, and you're helping a person who really has a business that they love, because you don't go down there at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday unless you love it.
They're setting up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
You gotta really love it then.
I guess you're right.
Or you're baking all night till 4, then you load up your car and come down. So it's a real passion involved, and it comes across with all the vendors. I stand by all of our vendors. We have amazing people.
What is your favorite fresh produce, seasonally grown?
This time of year, tomato.
What about you, Charles? What's your favorite fresh produce?
It's tough to say. I like corn. I mean,
Y'all just hit my two. I was going to say sweet corn and tomatoes.
It's just something about summer and a tomato, though. I just don't. And watermelon too. That's always a good one. So
watermelon probably next month.
Yeah.
We have some great people who make wonderful bread. So if you want to come buy some local sourdough bread and a homegrown tomato, and you make yourself a little mater sandwich when you get home.
Mater sandwich. I like it.
I don't know where you're from originally, but you're definitely Southern now.
I got that mater sandwich.
Mater sandwich. That's right. Well, that's fantastic. It's going to be at the Singing Brakeman Park, and all kinds of different vendors, I should say. You, the visitor, come and take part in it. It's just great. And what about parking and logistics?
Plenty of parking, all free parking.
Yeah.
There's you can get down there. It's no problem.
You can park on Front Street, or there's some side streets you can kind of you're never going to be much more than a block away from it.
No, block away. And I do tell people, come early. Don't roll in at 11:45 because there's nothing left.
Yeah, Okay, see, that's a good point.
Early bird gets the worm.
Yeah. You really need to get there before 10 to really get the best assortment. I mean, really and truly, you just can't roll in late.
All right, so there it is. It's
too hot after 10 anyway.
Yeah,
beat the heat. Get there early, man.
There's
stay indoors after 10.
There's a good reason to come early. In fact, I'd like to get there at 5:30, right after they set up, and get started early. But actually, the starting time for customers is usually what?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. But vendors are ready at 7:30.
Yeah.
You can roll on in. It's cool.
So if you're smart and you want the pick of the crop, so to speak, you need to get there about 7:30.
and most vendors will take credit cards. Is that right? They have the Square system.
Not all of them.
So you need to bring some cash anyway.
Bring some cash.
Okay.
All right. My old school vendors, and I have a lot of them. They're over 70. They're not going to take a card.
Just want to let you folks know that yes, despite what you believe, what you've been told, cash is still legal tender.
How about that?
It'll spend.
It'll spend. There you go.
They're happy to take it.
There you go. Well, I'm so glad that you're here, and of course, we want to make sure people have put that on their calendar for this coming Saturday. It's going to be 8 o'clock till noon. Don't wait till noon, because you'll be there won't be anything. It'll all be picked and gone. You'll be done. So there you have it, folks. It's Earth's Bounty, and what was kind of the origin of this concept? Have you been informed about that? How this all kind of got started?
Yeah, it really was it was a conglomeration of local farmers just kind of gathering under the bridge. That's traditionally where the farmers have gathered there on Front Street.
Yeah.
And I think Main Street took it on about 12 years ago and relaunched it as a festival. And then when Main Street closed, the city took it on, and I've been working on it probably for 8 years.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Okay, so you are Earth's Bounty then.
Well, I'm a big part of it,
Yeah.
so I've really helped. Gather the vendors together and help them understand how to do a business and how to work with the city.
Are there room for more vendors?
Absolutely, always.
Okay, all right. So if
we're
you're
always looking for new vendors,
if
you don't have to participate the whole season. You can do month to month. Like some people just will do, July and August because that's all they have. So it's not a big commitment.
Okay. All right. Well, honey, I think we'll just set up a tent down there at Earth's Bounty this week, and we'll sell that soy-based, whatever.
Soy-based whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
The hair products, yeah.
Ooh, but it's a great weekend to
Not
get
in this
down
crowd.
there, and because July 4th, obviously Tuesday, so get
Coming
some
around,
corn, get some
yeah.
fresh produce. Everyone's going to be cooking and making
this
a
will be a
lot of
big
good
one,
food.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and the Max always has something going on that Saturday as well. So it's you get a nice flow of traffic between the Max and the park.
There you go.
Very
Something.
good.
Just come down and be on Front Street in Meridian, Mississippi this Saturday.
That's right.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. We've got time for a phone call here. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Well, I know this is not directly related to the subject at hand. But,
Oh, that's okay.
Roger, Charles, are you aware of Mr. Wilkes' history in the apparel industry?
I had no idea. Can you enlighten us?
We would love to hear about it.
Well, Mr. Wilkes, tell him about your experience. And, of course, he's got an uncle that spent some time in the apparel industry, too. But I think it's something that he's proud of, and I think it's something you'll find interesting.
Well, I was born and raised here in Meridian, but I
There
left
you
when I
go.
was really young and moved to San Francisco, where I got involved in the apparel business. I was in the apparel business in San Francisco, New York City for 30 years.
Wow.
Working for all the major players.
Oh, wow.
Especially in New York. Handled big budgets, traveled globally, lots of factories, lots of sourcing, merchandising, product development, and then I've been back here in Meridian about 10 years.
What are some of the? Will we recognize any of these companies that you worked for? Or?
The Gap, Victoria's Secret, Vanity Fair, Tommy Hilfiger,
Victoria's
Joe
Secret.
Boxer.
Joe Boxer.
That's where you can stop.
Really? I was like, really?
That's really where
Hey,
I got my
it
start
was-
with Joe Boxer.
It was a hot item at the time.
Yes, it was. We had a big
I'm
business.
telling you. And Ollie Gerald didn't have that talent. You must have gotten it from your mother.
I did. Ollie Gerald is
I'm
my
sorry.
father.
Being an old haberdasher, I just couldn't pass up that opportunity to bring that up.
I appreciate it. Who's this calling?
It's Jimmy Slay.
Hey, Mr. Slay, how you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
He's never been called Mr. Slay on this.
Wow. It's been a while. Yeah.
This is weird.
Hey,
Jay
I
Slay.
don't ever get called late for supper, though. Bye.
Well, that's some pretty big name brands. You mentioned Victoria's Secret. I'm a big fan of Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, they had a big business at one point. They still have a good business.
They
yeah.
did. They did tell me I had to quit loitering in the store, though.
Oh, that was you.
We've sent you 20 catalogs this year so far, Mr. Burke.
But no, that's fascinating. That's quite a colorful career. It's a good story of somebody here who's, believe it or not, promoting the Earth's bounty. You've had a quite a vast career there.
Yeah, I've had a very corporate professional career, so this is very different for me, but I'm enjoying it.
Very good. Well, we're glad you're with the municipality of Meridian, and here on Municipal Monday.
Municipal Monday.
Yes.
There you
Such
go.
as it will be known never again, we hope. But
I
yeah.
kind of like that.
I do too, yeah.
We could have like the mayor come in on a Monday, call it Municipal Monday, or
something.
somebody from the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Miserable
bad.
Monday. What?
That's
Okay. Municipal.
better than some other things we could do.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's always good to have good, supportive people in Meridian, and we have another gentleman in Meridian who is very supportive of everything going on in town that is good, and he provides good service in the insurance business. And you, of course, Charles, know who I'm talking about.
Of course, we all know who we're talking about. That's Jeffrey Wilson. And here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. Ooh, that's some money right there, some cheddar. State Farm agent Jeffrey Wilson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save in Meridian. Call him 601-483-8253 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jeffrey Wilson is all over town. You see him everywhere. I think he's a member of about half the clubs that you're a member of.
Well, I do see him from time to
My
time, and
goodness.
he's a fine fellow. There's no
He is,
question
but the
about it.
Downtown Optimist, the East Mississippi Board of Realtors, the Lauderdale County Schools Teacher Appreciation Events, he's great in those. Great with the teacher appreciation. Center for Pregnancy Choices, Head Start Program, Boys and Girls Club, Lauderdale Council on Agers, and various other community involvement as well. He does it all.
He is involved.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And there's a reason for that. But he's just a great guy, and he can save you tons of money on your insurance. So give him a call, 601-483-8253, Jeffrey Wilson State Farm.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. Of course, a lot to talk about coming up, and we just want to make sure that you know how to get in touch with us. Our number here is 601-485-9191. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and finish the top of the hour, but a real quick break and come back. It's Monday. It's a great start to the week. Want to say big thank you to Craig Wilkes.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate
Earth's
it.
Bounty.
Absolutely.
Everybody show up.
Yes, please.
Saturday morning.
Yes, please. Please come.
All right, we'll be back. Stay with us. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was on this day in 1977 Elvis Presley made his final concert appearance in Indianapolis, Indiana. The last song that he sang that day was Can't Help Falling in Love.
Oh.
And it was 2 weeks later that he was deceased.
Couldn't help falling in the tub. Now, that was a lot better than the Paula Abdul, I think.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
gotta prove that
this was
one.
more
but the
thought
Paula
out.
Abdul was okay.
Yeah, it was just I threw
We all
something
make
in there
mistakes
quick.
on a Monday. I know.
Wow.
I mean, Charles, do you need to go back to Washington?
I think
for
I do,
anything?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Frazier goes to Washington.
Doesn't come back.
So glad you're back there, Charles, and of course Rob. And we have a caller who's been patiently waiting on the line. Let's go to the phones right now. How you doing, caller?
Patiently. Did you ever find out we have a police chief?
Haven't.
For, how long back? How far back do you want to go? Yeah.
In the last week.
Oh, okay.
We haven't found out, sir. Do you have any information for us? You, sir, have an ear to the ground, and you kind of know what's going on around town?
Not trying to talk about the competition, but Scotty Ray made the comment when he was reporting on the
shooting the other day, Friday. He said the police chief is gone.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything else. I don't know if that meant gone to the office.
Yeah, that's you got to be careful. Yeah, I don't. We
got to wait for the facts to come out.
When we get the facts, we'll report them.
Well, I just wondered if we still had a police chief. That's all I wanted. It has nothing to do with the shooting. Just wondered if the police chief had resigned or if she was still the police chief.
Oh, okay.
Or Beanie's the police chief. I don't know. Craig could have told us, but y'all didn't ask it. Y'all got to ask these questions.
Yeah, thank you, and give us an opportunity to come tell you how to live your retirement.
There we go. I like that.
I know it. Well, that's just I'm just expressing my opinion.
Oh, and I'm glad. I'm glad you do. You're welcome to do that. That's for sure.
But, no harm. I just want to know where a police chief.
Well, here's what we do.
Just like they say, yes or no.
Long before there was Facebook, there was talk radio, and if somebody wants to post some information by calling us and letting us know if they have any information about the police chief, they can do that at 601-485-9191.
Well, call the police department and see if they can tell you. I'm just curious.
Just say,
you can tell the public.
Can I speak with Chief Young, something like that?
Yeah, because we're not going to get it on WTOK or the other media. We want it on your talk radio show first.
Look at there. I'm glad you're listening. This is good.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes you go down the dial, but I appreciate you being there this morning.
No, I was listening. And glad Charles is back and Rob.
Charles, there you
back.
go.
But you going to be here all week, or do you know?
No.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I gave you 5 days last week. Come on.
I know.
What is this? No, I think I'm going to be out Thursday.
Well, no problem. I mean, Charles and Liz and Tarver and Rob, they got.
Did you see the picture of those twin tornadoes that her son, Liz's son?
I heard you talking about it.
Yeah.
I heard you about last week. I didn't see it, but
yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Like 5 of them. Yeah, was it twin or no? I was thinking of something else. There was some water spouts. Yeah.
Yeah. This was actually a tornado over in Kansas or somewhere that had spawned another one and almost a third. But he really got some good pictures there. That's Tony Lawback.
Tornado.
Yeah. Y'all got one more hour to find out about the police chief. And,
all right.
And I'll be listening and see if you.
We're gonna ask our roving reporter Freddie Portavant to go down to the police station and get that answer for us and call us back. Will you do that?
I'll call. I'll try to call somebody.
There you go. All right. Thank you, sir.
Investigation.
Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Mornings in Meridian. We're a venue for people to call in and give us the things. The one thing about it, they just. Well, we'll talk about that later. Let's join Fox News in Progress. What do you guys say?
Let's do it.
In California.
An investigation's underway after a
Meridian, the 2 best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. And we're glad you're tuned in. Lots to get to this morning. Let's reintroduce the team. Of course, Robbie Atkinson right here with us.
Hello, sir.
Man, I tell you what, our main man from Meehan.
Yes, sir.
So glad you're here today. And, of course, here... back from a road trip, say hi to Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
Good morning. What was his head bobbing over?
I was
here?
like the main man from Meehan. I just repeating it in my head, kind of wrapping my head around that.
It's part of that Meehan mafia out there. Isn't it? Oh, we got mafia in Meehan.
Main man of Meehan.
Meehan, of course.
Main man.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
The main geek from Ponte Creek. I don't know.
Oh, wow. That hurts.
No, that'd be Ponte Hills.
Hurts.
It'd be, yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
lots to talk about this morning here. Glad to see you guys together here on this Monday morning. It's a good show already, and we're exploring all kinds of things here this morning.
We got some feelers out there of stuff going on.
Trying to find out the rumors about the chief, of course, and then we're going to talk about the Lauderdale County grand jury report, and then we're going to be talking a little bit about what happened Friday, and we're going to be talking a little bit about this, that, and the other thing. So lots going on, plus taking your calls. Our number is 601-485-9191. A big thank you to Purvis Business Machines for help making this show possible. Jerry Purvis and his dear wife, Betty, they run a top-notch program there for business machines. I'm talking about the best copiers, printers, and collators. How about folders? They can actually give you a machine, I should say, that folds papers.
Well, what's great is they sell these all-in-one machines. They do it all. I mean, they email. The machine emails. It's like artificial intelligence. But, of course, they also copy, scan, manage documents, everything like that. And they have lease return color copiers. You can save up to 85% on those, which means you're paying 15% of the retail value of those machines. Lease return color copiers, gently used. Give them a call, 601-693-COPY. Of course, they got a great showroom down there at 4505 Highway 39 North, and their website is wonderful, too. That's gopurvis.com. They've been doing it for over, 44 years now, and I like their motto, service, not excuses, since 1979. So what you get from them is service. You don't get excuses.
It's more than just a motto, isn't it?
They live it.
That's the truth.
It is the truth.
All right, mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, Roger. You sounded like Howard Cosell there for a minute.
No,
Frazier. Back comes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier.
That's right. But he's coming back, so I didn't use that.
That's right.
I don't want the man to go down.
Yeah.
That's right, folks. Back comes Frazier.
There we go.
I love it. Don't you miss some of those good old sport announcers, Don Meredith, and all those good folks.
What, Jimmy the Greek?
Oh yeah, Jimmy.
But Howard Cosell was one of a kind.
Yeah.
But anyway, as far as the guy I believe he was trying to put in a missing persons a while ago, right at the end of the break, a missing persons report or something. Not a chief, but anyway.
He's been missing for quite a while now.
Maybe at another school. It's been in school the whole time. Is the police chief really a job that subjects itself to on-the-job training? Need to kind of have that down pat before you get there, don't you? You had the mayor on the other day, Roger. I don't guess he said anything about getting a new police chief, did he?
He only used the words, "We are trying to rebuild the police department. We're working," or we might have been not trying, but working hard to rebuild the police department.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I had two other things I'd do quickly. Did y'all read the article on the dilapidated water and sewer lines? The ticking time bomb was called that 25 years ago. About the what all they're doing about it. Did y'all read that in last week's paper?
No.
Missed that.
Well, let me tell you who's not making any money. The people that go around and repair old water and sewer lines, they're not making any money. Let me tell you about the people that are making some money off of this deal. Lawyers. At one point, it was well over $3-4 million that already been paid to lawyers, and that was years ago. There's no telling. It was all in there about what the lawyers were going to do this, the lawyers going to do this. What about a construction crew? What about
getting there, what are they going to do, you know? So all you hear about the lawyers, so they're making this thing last for a long time, and they're getting really well off the Meridian taxpayers who are not getting this water and sewer fixed, who are still under scrutiny of the EPA. So, but anyway, one other thing. And
well, I guess my understanding is we're under a 20-year kind of a consent decree where they're making these, and I see them digging up streets and making repairs around town. So I know things are being done, but I thought that was largely the city and public works department that was doing that.
I don't know. 20 is going to take 20 years. That means you got to pay lawyers for 20 years. They're the go-between between the EPA and the city, so they would get their check for 20 years instead of putting that money into pipe. But anyway, one other quick thing I want to talk about one of our favorite rhinos, and y'all help me out with this because I heard this and I didn't read it. I heard it, but I didn't get to read it. So Michael Rhino Guest stood up there and refused to censor Adam, and I'm not going to say what his last name. Schiff. I will say that. Is that correct?
Well, there's a little.
He voted present.
Well, there's a little bit of an explanation behind that. We had Mr. Guest on. What was it, Wednesday of this past week, and he is the chair of the ethics committee up there in Congress. And if he would have voted yes, along with all the other Republicans, then he would have been forced, more than likely, to recuse himself from the investigation into Schiff if it would have went to committee.
Essentially, killing the investigation.
Killing the investigation.
So it wasn't
at the
just,
beginning.
and it wasn't just Guest. It was any Republican on that committee. They decided to vote present so that would not arm Schiff with the opportunity to come in and say, well, I'm not going to get a fair investigation here because this the ethics committee is against me.
What I'm going to call horse dung on that. What about all the ones that did vote for it? All the Republicans who had the nerve to stand up against this.
We're talking about the ones that are on the ethics committee specifically, Chuck.
Yeah, well, I just...
if they would have voted yes for that, sitting on the ethics committee, then they would have had to recuse themselves from that committee. All the Democrats obviously voted no, but if they would have voted yes, then the investigation would have been... It would have just been... The plug would have been pulled on the whole thing, so...
Well, he had a good excuse when he voted to hold a Capital 6 riot, too. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I'm just... you called initially about the other thing, so we're just clearing that up, so...
I'm just saying, that's the way he votes. He voted to hold the Capital 6 Donald Trump witch hunt riots and went along with the Democrats on that. But I didn't know. I just wanted to make sure that he did vote present and not voted.
But somebody started the show that day, of course, and I'm going to give credit to Michael Guest because somebody started the show. Hey, do you think that? Did I think that he was a rhino? And I said no, but because of the fact that. What we did was we reached out to him and said, hey, we're getting these questions. And he was in a meeting, but he said he would call in afterwards, and he did call in and gave that explanation, which, whether you like the explanation or not, it does kind of have some, it has reason at least.
Well, that can have, if you want to go along with that, I mean, that's fine, but there's no excuse for him voting to go along with the Capital 6 here and putting those people what he's put them through. There aren't no excuses for that. So, he voted along with Democrats to hold that witch hunt, which very few Republicans did, but he was one of them. But anyway, all right, guys, I appreciate it.
No, good. Glad you called in. And again, I was, I thought the explanation was quite, say what you want to, but, is talking about lawyers there. But one thing that. Michael Guest he was a prosecuting attorney, and he kind of knows I think he probably knows how to navigate some of those things that might try to avoid some of the pitfalls when it comes to investigating somebody and he knows that Adam Schiff is exactly what we all think he is.
Well, that was a one step ahead, decision, obviously, to vote present, because if he'd have voted yes, then guess what? Yeah. He had to recuse himself. Plus, when you're the chairman of the ethics committee, having to recuse yourself from that investigation because it's so high profile like it is.
And so he would have had to, he would have been obligated to, or I think Schiff would have said
Schiff would have had to request that, and obviously he would have.
Well, okay, and I guess that's open for debate whether or not Michael Guest would have had to at that point, would have been compelled to. But it certainly opens that door, and you don't want that door open. So I can understand that. You obviously had enough votes anyway, so vote present.
That was the whole deal.
Present with a little asterisk.
And
this is why, with a footnote saying.
And according to what I heard him say, it was a collective decision among all the Republicans on the Ethics Committee. Anyway, 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, guys, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
Morning. Doing fine. Come on in.
Well, I think people should probably take a look at Guest and Wicker and look back over their tenure being in their positions. And just, I think, without going into detail because there's not enough time, I think you would count quite a few times.
You're breaking up on me,
Kind of
brother.
losing you there.
You're breaking up on us there. You need to kind of turn that tin foil around a little bit.
I said, what we need to do.
Okay, we're in a dead spot there. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Hello again. Hello again.
And now we go to our action reporter down at the airport. Freddie, can you tell us what happened?
I reached out to my city council representative, my city council person.
Yes.
And I asked that person, and she did not know one way or the other.
And also, in full transparency, I did reach out to Ida Brown during the break, too. She's public relations with the city and have not gotten any response from her as of yet. Just trying to get some info on that end, too. So
yeah, my council person said she was in an area. She was with she was at a meeting with the mayor, statewide meeting or something. And I said, well, ask him. And but she said she would call me or text me when she found an answer, yes or no.
Okay. Well, one of the best ways to get a rumor going is go to social media because one thing I want to highlight, and after I was able to have a conversation with the sheriff after the events died down on Friday. And basically, social media had it wrong from the start.
Yep.
And just a lot of conjecturing, a lot of social media comments, a lot of opinions going out there, and just like what happens in the rumor mills, you get a lot of conjecture and not facts.
Yeah, well, we're fact checking here. So
fact checking, that's what we're doing.
Social media, if it's on the internet, everybody thinks it's true.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't.
Yeah. So it's just that's why sometimes you have to kind of wait till the truth kind of finally shakes out.
Well, I just heard that. I'm just wondering if she resigned. It doesn't. Nobody said a word. No media, no TV, no Meridian Star, no radio. Not even. We didn't even talk about it at the airport. It's not even airport news.
If you're not talking about it at the airport, there's really not nothing talking about it.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
You're talking about it there. Well, and there's no press conference scheduled by the city or anything like that at this point. So, of course, the mayor's out of town, then that would be difficult to do. But you would think if there was an announcement of that sort, then they would say, okay, we do have an announcement to make at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever, steps to City Hall.
Yeah.
Right. We may hear it at the lunch counter at various restaurants.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
We'll talk to James about that. He'll make something up.
There you go.
There's a lot of facts there.
Well, thank you, and continue to keep us up to date there, sir.
Yes, sir. It's going to be hot.
Okay.
All right. That's the update. It's hot. Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you for the phone call, 601-485-9191. Rob, it is going to be hot this week.
Yeah, they're talking 102 degrees on Friday. It's going to get that hot by Friday.
COVID fever right there.
I recommend we make sure our air conditioners are working, make sure that you don't make plans where you're going to do like I did yesterday and just work outside all day.
Oof.
That was miserable.
It was not good planning.
And it was only 92.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Chilly.
caller. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, now.
Morning.
I'm curious. Some of your viewers may not know. They may want to know the reason what would make her resign. So I'm sure nobody's clear on that.
Yeah, we were talking about the grand jury report, and we're going to get around to that. That's for sure.
Okay, good deal then.
Thank you. All right. Now, the grand jury issued the report. Of course, it used to be for years and years and years the courthouse falling apart and all the rest. But there's a new focal point for the grand jury, and, of course, it happens to be the Meridian Police Department.
Yeah, the very beginning of the final report, this was issued on Friday. Of course, they went through the witnesses and, of course, the 5 days they did examinations, the indictments and whatnot. But very large paragraph for the Meridian Police Department. And I'm just going to read this word for word. It says the grand jury was made aware of a $1 million surplus in the budget, which was previously allocated to the Meridian Police Department. The grand jury recommends that the mayor request and the city council approve that a portion of that $1 million be spent to purchase new body camera and car camera equipment and software. The grand jury was also advised of a grant opportunity that should become available prior to the convening of the next grand jury. Thus, the grand jury recommends that the city of Meridian apply for additional grant funding to adequately maintain those new camera systems. The grand jury recommends that the city of Meridian allocate funding for the purchase and maintenance of additional surveillance cameras to help deter crime and aid in the investigation of criminal activity. The grand jury recommends that the mayor and the city council work together to support the Meridian Police Department and adopt a budget that will provide adequate funding and resources to the Meridian Police Department. The grand jury toured the Meridian Police Department and recommends that the city of Meridian provide the funding needed to update and adequately maintain the facility. The grand jury recommends that the mayor, the city council, and the Meridian Police Department provide a written report to the circuit clerk to provide an update regarding any action taken on these recommendations prior to the November 2023 grand jury session. The grand jury recommends that the next grand jury follow up on the recommendations made in this report. Also, guys, just to read the rest of this, the Lauderdale County Detention Facility was mentioned. The grand jury toured the Lauderdale County Detention Facility and found it to be clean and safe. Sheriff's Office also mentioned in the grand jury report. The grand jury toured the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office and found it to be in great improvement from the previous facility. The facility appears to give the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office the tools they need to do their jobs. So there you go. That is the grand jury report. And of course, they were in session for 5 days and examined 24 witnesses and returned 143 true bills of indictment into open court and 35 no true bills of indictment. So there you go. That is the grand jury report that was released on Friday. So a lot to dissect on that very large Meridian Police Department portion there, Mr. Frazier.
Yeah, and it looked like the focus was on cameras and on cameras, not only on body cameras, but also in the cars. And you wonder what was lacking in, the testimony of the police officers or the cases that they were presenting. And if that was visual evidence, then obviously that would resolve part of that issue. I think the big thing there is the grant money that needs to be applied for, and we need to monitor that, make sure that that grant money is applied, because really, grant writing is you have people who are employed to do that sort of thing, but I'm sure the city has grant writers on staff.
Sure.
And it's a matter of just doing the work,
Well,
kind of getting that done and submitting it on time and kind of checking all the boxes that you need to.
And I think a lot of citizens, guys, just to be fully honest here, when they hear the words of that one line about the budget, that the city and the council provide the adequate funding and resources, I think a lot of people are going to go right to that. And obviously,
I went to that.
Everybody is
going to comment
gravitating toward that portion of the grand jury report.
We have what we call it the new police station, right? Because it's
how long is that built? How long have they been in that building?
A couple of Percy Bland administrations, and then this one, so at least a dozen years or more. Maybe, So, close to a dozen years. And of course, when the police department was being built there, that was the idea, well, the police department has kind of gone down, the building went down that was right across from City Hall.
Sure.
And things we said on the show back then, and we're seeing it right now, if you don't maintain it, you're going to be back to the same situation you were in when you left the old police station. And so evidently the grand jury is seeing signs that the police station is not being maintained well enough, and the city needs to supply money for that. And maintenance is not a very popular budget item. It's not glamorous. It doesn't, I don't think anybody's gotten elected on a platform, I'm going to have proper maintenance on all the public facilities.
Yeah, it's not a sexy stump speech item.
No, but pretty. I mean, if it continues, if there is dilapidation taking place and we're not maintaining it, then we're going to be back to the same situation in just a few more years. Well, we need a new police station.
What was there a reference to the physical plant of the police station in there?
Yeah, it said the grand jury recommends that the mayor, the city council, and the Meridian Police Department provide a written. Let me go back here. It's in here. I just have to go back. It's, like I said, it's a very lengthy paragraph, but I know
basically
it's in there.
that the city, the budget, enough money to maintain the facility, maintain.
Well, I remember in the beginning when they first moved there was some roofing issues, lots of leaking and things of that nature. So there was a whole other issue there.
Here it is. Okay. It says the grand jury toured the Meridian Police Department and recommends that the city of Meridian provide the funding needed to update and adequately maintain the facility.
Okay.
So
update. We need to update the new police station.
Okay.
601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. You got a full house this morning.
Oh,
it just got fuller.
We do, Mr. Benny.
And if a roof leaks, the building will be destroyed.
That's true.
Well, on a much lighter side of all this sin, chaos, and confusion that's going on in the world, I want to comment, Hazmat, on what a wonderful, excellent job he did at conducting our service out at Tuckalina Methodist Church.
Benny, didn't you take a real risk of inviting Hazmat to speak at your pulpit there at the United Methodist Church?
Well, the devil did. Devil was the one that he's stepping on his toes.
Good deal.
I've heard a lot of sermons from the pulpit, but I'm going to have to say that one will knock the ball out of the field. I think that's the best presentation. Hit the nail on the head and said what is wrong with the country. I do believe that's the best sermon I ever heard anybody speak from the pulpit.
Wow, there you go. Good.
It was absolutely great, and he didn't pull any punches. He said like it is, and either you're for me or you're against me. You lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Christians, wake up and be heard. Yeah. Don't sit there on your hands.
There you go. And it's I think we're seeing a kind of a small turn in our culture where the I guess you would say the silent majority are now saying, we're tired of being steered by the.
We ain't buying Bud Light.
The very steered by the. That's an example.
But hey, no, that's the truth.
That's an example.
It's and
the tail wagging the dog.
That's.
Well, enough is enough, and if somebody don't start kicking back, if you don't shove back, they'll shove and they'll keep on taking over. Evil is so present in this world today. It's gaining ground by leaps and bounds, and nobody wants to recognize it. It's socially accepted to take right as wrong and wrong is right. And those that make the most noise is the one that gets the most attention.
But unfortunately, it was prophesied that's what will happen. We'll take wrong for right and right for wrong.
And it's happening, and America's going to sleep and letting it happen.
Come on, let's rise up, America.
America, rise up and put the Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit back in the family, in the country, and in the people.
Yeah, it's amazing that they're saying on the news that the liability for the Republican Party this election season will probably be the reversal of Roe v. Wade. In other words, the championing of life for the unborn is going to be a liability for the Republican Party. That's basically what we're saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Republican Party, the most do-nothing party, you know. The only thing I can say about them, they seem to do less damage to the country than the Democrats do. But there's so much they could stop, and they will not.
Well,
and it's amazing to me. Everybody loves Trump except the Republicans, and I think every one of them must hate him.
well, right now, 50+% approval rating based on the recent survey I saw on Fox of 1,000 people surveyed. So, regardless of what's going on in Trump's world, there's a lot still behind him.
Yes, they are. Well, the people are for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, yeah. Think about what they could have done if they would have gotten behind him when he was president.
Absolutely. And he's fighting uphill battle the whole 4 years he was in Congress, and still look how much good he accomplished for the safety of this country.
It's amazing to have somebody in the political arena that is willing to fight as much as he has had to fight, and as much as he's had to just talk about somebody with some determination. He definitely has that determination.
And when he's trying to build a fence down to protect our southern borders, look how many Republicans went against him.
Yeah.
They don't want the security of the border, apparently. But anyway, that's my opinion. And
No, well, glad you're reporting in, Benny, and glad you had a good service there at the United Methodist Church in Sukalina. And man, I tell you what, you just keep on keeping on, friend.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate your program, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Ooh. All right.
Thanks, Benny. Good stuff there.
Roger, do have an update from the city of Meridian.
Oh man, I tell you what, should we save that till after the break, or should we just talk about it now?
Let's save it.
All right.
I got you an update.
Tease. You ain't nothing but a tease.
We'll take a quick break, come back. I'm Roger B. Rob's in the house. Charles is back. It's a great Monday morning. And we'll have an update from the city of Meridian. dollars instead of stars? I don't know. Mornings in Meridian, welcome back. Hi, Roger, along with Rob. Charles is in the house. It's One Republic. Ryan Tedder, he's part of the group. He's 44 years old today. So happy birthday to you if it's your birthday today. Other birthdays on the celebrity side. Gretchen Wilson's 50.
Redneck woman.
There's a good one there. Let's see. We got some other folks that are jumping off the page here. Robert Davey, good conservative fellow, actor, talk show. 72 years old. Is that right?
Sure.
Davey?
Yeah.
You said Davey or Davey?
72.
Davey?
Davey, yeah.
Davey.
That's the way.
72.
Davey. We're glad you're out there, folks. We want you to be part of the show, 601-485-9191. As we promised, breaking confirmation of the rumors that started on social media about the chief of police. Rob, tell us what the truth is.
Did reach out to Ida Brown, of course, public relations with the city of Meridian. Just told her we wanted to touch base with you, that we're getting some calls this morning about that rumor about Chief Young resigning, and she did respond and says that is not true. So we can put that one to rest now. So the old rumor mill strikes again.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's from the PR department of the city, police department.
Good place to go to for the facts.
Like just the facts. Man.
If you want the facts, just the facts, ma'am. That's right. Contact us here at WALT.
So there you go. Of course, that was a lot of people were saying that was after the grand jury report came out on Friday. That rumor mill was percolating over on Friday into the weekend.
Sure, and going back to that grand jury report, one thing that was mentioned that we pointed out, I mean, I took the, talking about the cameras, and that part of it really, I guess, was my focus, but you all talked about kind of the maintenance of the department and that sort of thing, and the maintenance of the physical plant of the police department itself, and how that can affect, well, the effectiveness of the police. But I kind of like to bring up the point that for the last 10, 15, 20 years, however far you go back, the most effective department, I think clearly in county and city government, put them all together, lump them, and you have the most effective department, is the sheriff's department.
Sure.
Okay. And until about 4 months ago, their physical plant was absolutely atrocious. I mean, it was really rough.
Yeah.
Yet they were still the most effective. So, these things should be maintained. Obviously, you've got to make sure that the roof's not leaking, that, the door's locked, the windows sealed, and all that kind of things. But, I mean, that does not mean that you have an ineffective police department because of that. And let's kind of balance that a little bit and give credit where credit is due, and that is that the sheriff's department has really done an outstanding job with limited resources and with a kind of a pretty rough situation until a few months ago when they moved to the new building. Now they've got a great facility, which they deserve. So It can have some effect, and it can affect morale and things like that, but I think that appropriate leadership can also affect that in a very positive way. So just to kind of keep it balanced, but the important thing is get those cameras, and let's see what's going on out there, and let's give the grand jury the opportunity to kind of see firsthand what's happening with those incidents when police are confronting criminals or they're investigating crimes. So.
And we'll say this about the new sheriff's department. Make sure the county budgets money to maintain and keep that buildling up.
That's right.
You're right about that. Yeah, definitely.
Same watchword for the county there. All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. Let's see. How are we doing on sponsors? I want to make sure we talk
Doug
about
and Doug.
those. Oh, if you need a new roof, call the Martin boys. I'm talking about father and son, Doug Martin Jr. and Doug Martin Sr.
Yep, they're the only ones to call, and they've got more signs out there than the corners.
Whoa! It took us this long?
I know, we're way behind schedule. What is going on with that? And the reason you see so many signs is because everybody uses them. They've been doing roofing right for over 35 years. Of course, locally owned and operated, licensed in the state of Mississippi, and they take pride in standing behind their work from start through cleanup, and I mean cleanup. It's like they were never there except for you've got a brand new roof. Give them a call today, 601-485-5920. They'll come over and inspect your roof for damage and give you a free estimate. That's 601-485-5920. Martin Roofing, been doing roofing right for over 30 years. They know what they're doing.
All right, they know what they're doing. And that's what you want on the roof there.
Yes,
that's right.
Indeed, experts.
To the phones we go. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, Miss Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
Thank you, Rob, for asking about the street, whether or not we had made progress on getting the street name.
Yes, ma'am.
what it is. Of course, we're sort of I'm in phase 2 of that, but I appreciate your being concerned about it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm calling this morning, because I want the mayor to know that I could not get people to come with me. There were 3 people who had said that we would be attending the service at the Sucalina Methodist Church on Sunday. And they chickened out of it. They just said, we're not going to let you talk us into doing that. And so I was not going to go by myself. But I tell you one thing, perhaps the mayor could get the sermon get the sermon, and maybe if it's typed out or something, those of us who would like to hear it or read it would be able to do so.
Now, just to bring our listeners up to speed here, when we're talking about the mayor, we refer to Benny as the mayor of Sucalina.
That's right.
And of course, you're talking about the hazmat speaking out at the United Methodist Church.
Haz sermon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was that recorded?
Pastor Haz.
Yeah.
The Right Reverend Pastor Haz.
Well, you wait.
Right Reverend Haz.
They're kicking out his last minute. But anyway, I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me. Let me go to the main thing, though. I went to on Saturday, I was at an ultra conservative function. Now, as for me, and I want to make this clear,
ultra conservative function.
Super.
Wine. No, I'm a person who drinks wine, and occasionally I will drink Miller High Life. Occasionally, but this particular event that I attended on Saturday, buckets and buckets and buckets of Bud Light were there. So dream on, guys. See, this is what I keep saying. You just don't know when people are talking and running off at the mouth. You never know. And when I say ultra conservative, these are people who had a Confederate flag in the building. All right, and that's what I'm calling ultra conservative. They also had buckets of Bud Light.
Yeah.
6 bottles for $11. All right. So dream on, guys.
So
now, why are we
dreaming on? What does that mean?
What does that mean? Dream on, guys. What's the deal there?
No, because people tend to think that the boycott is working, and that the people who are really into this are these left-wing, transgender kinds of people that don't have a whole. They're making the loudest noise. But, other people are not a part of it. And I'm here to tell you, and I witnessed this. This isn't what somebody said to me. This is what I saw with my own eyes on Saturday. All right. Bud Light is what they were drinking.
Now, was this you said they had a rebel flag at this meeting?
Well, there was a flag, in the building. I mean, I just sort of.
But you said it was a Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Okay. Were they wearing
more conservative than that?
Were they wearing sheets and pointed hoods?
Well, they probably pulled them off before I arrived.
Wow.
I was just curious. I was trying to figure out what kind of meeting you were at there, Ruth.
They probably pulled
Well,
them off
Ruth, just to clarify, we are not. I don't think that we're supporting any sort of Bud Light, boycott. It's more of what I'm saying is that it's an indication of what society is thinking in general, and so and those numbers bear true. I mean, if you look at sales reports, it's way down.
Yeah, I think the last report as of June the 10th was 27% drop. Yeah.
And so it's an interesting indication of what's happening in society as opposed to any agenda that we have.
And then for the month of May, I mean, it is a Mexican beer that's number one.
Dos Equis.
I can't remember. I forgot what the name of it is.
Well, maybe it's
what
not
I'm
Dos
trying to
Equis.
make is
Modelo.
what I'm trying to. What I'm saying here is that there are some ultra conservative people who are still drinking Bud Light.
Well, good. Well, that's great. I have no problem with that. I was going to say classic American brand. It's actually a classic Dutch brand.
Well,
now,
I know.
But
I have a friend who went on the boycott, but he forgave them, and he's back on. It's all good. Kind of express yourself and move on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because there are some people who are saying it's the people who work for these companies that are suffering. If you decide that you don't want to buy the beer, then there's all of these people who have jobs.
Oh, that's a Hannity.
In the Anheuser-Busch story, they tracked that back to basically one promoter, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Who no longer works there, by the way. Anyway. Well, listen. Good to hear from you, Ruth.
Okay,
I'm glad.
right,
What are you doing? What are you doing? Visiting ultra conservative groups.
Well, with me.
Is it for the
spy?
I want to hear what everybody has to say.
There you go. Okay,
and
gotcha.
I want them to hear what I have to say, and I'm hoping
Gotcha.
that we can meet in the middle somewhere. We cannot. Our country cannot move forward as long as you got people way over there on one end. And the other people are way on the other end. We have got to come together. I mean, we won't have.
Ooh, yeah, boy,
we'll always have these differences, but it won't be like it is now.
Boy, you ain't just whistling Dixie. I'll tell you that.
We're disgraceful the way we're acting now. We can't survive.
Yeah,
we just can't. And then you've got these politicians.
A nation divided against itself. Yeah.
Well, they're stirring the pot. The politicians are stirring the pot.
Yeah.
And people are so emotional about it.
The race baiters are stirring the pot.
Realize that the politicians are stirring the pot.
Yeah, the race baiters
are
stirring the pot.
smoking the pot, and that's just getting weird.
That's true. All right.
It's all legal.
Thank you, Ruth. I got another caller coming behind you. Thank you.
But what I must say is that they were extremely kind to me.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself when I was there.
After a couple of Bud Lights, you bet.
How many Bud Lights did you have?
That's right. That's right.
7. I had a great time.
My thing is wine.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Wine.
Well, listen, good to hear you, Ruth.
There's hope. Yeah, there's hope for us.
Listen, you have a good day. All right. Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How are you today?
All right now.
Okay. Well, let's see what we can do to change that.
I wanted to comment about the grand
jury. The grand
yes, on
jury.
The police side.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bunch of mentions about different types of cameras, body cameras, car cameras, cameras to catch criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall that those on the poles with the lights on them?
Yes, sir.
That's 2 contracts.
Mm.
One to monitor the cameras and the other for the cameras on the poles. Do you recall the sheriff mentioning that related to one crime that he was given special attention by someone because the contract wasn't paid and wasn't activated?
Now, you said what wasn't activated?
Well, the monitoring process.
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 contracts, not one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my suggestion would be that they leave enough money in their account so that the monitoring company can keep an auto draft going when the, payment is due.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
And sometimes things like that are intentional, I believe.
I know there was I know I heard from one of the monitoring companies that, or the monitoring company that I knew about, that they had not gotten paid from the city.
It helps me to remember there was a monitor in the Merrimack. Hello?
Oh, boy. Wow.
I had a suggestion a while back, something comparable to this.
Bless your
and
heart.
One of our Leadership Lauderdale certificate business degree persons called in and said, I know him. He doesn't have a business degree. I called back in and said, I don't have a business degree, but I know when somebody's giving me the business.
There you go. You don't have to have a degree for that, do you?
That's exactly right.
You got that right. Well, that's kind of a dangerous scenario, though. I'm thinking of other organizations, if they were to have a automatic draft from the city, those coffers would go down pretty quick.
Well, it is, but I think they have to approve in the budget the amounts that they're paying so they know that up front.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and I do think that
I don't have a business degree now, but I'm suggesting that.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a business degree either, even though I took a couple of accounting classes. And let's see, there was that Holiday Inn Express. I did say that.
Last night?
No, not last night.
Debbie didn't kick you out.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but I think the cameras they're talking about would not be monitored like that. They would probably have some sort of storage device within the camera itself. So that's what you would look at as opposed to monitoring the other. But you're absolutely right. If those aren't being monitored or not being paid for, then we need to address that first, and then talk about getting body cameras.
Yeah,
Not
the
only
big
that, it was the addition of more cameras. And what good is more of them going to be if none of them are monitored?
Well, I will tell you that in Europe they have what they call fake cameras. They have a lot of cameras that monitor your speeding, and a lot of them are dummy cameras. So people think there may be a camera in there, maybe not. So
yeah, and that line in the grand jury says they recommend the city allocate funding for the purchase and maintenance of additional surveillance cameras to help deter crime and aid in the investigation of criminal activity. So,
and the surveillance thereof.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's all I have to say about that.
There we go. Thanks, Forrest.
Forrest Gump. You're going to be our final caller today because we're just out of time here.
All right.
But thank you.
TDR Street Gang signing out.
Well, guys, this has been a fun show. What do you think?
Yeah, been a lot to cover today.
And what we'll do is let's plan to just meet here tomorrow and pick it up then.
Sure.
All right, folks. Have a great day. A lot of great talk radio up ahead. You know, that guy by the name of, Glenn Beck.
Yes, sir.
Who's after him?
You got Clay and Buck, and then Sean Hannity and Joe Pags.
Oh, my man Joe. All right. Charles, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, folks, God bless you, and please buy local.
Seek it out and ye shall